Hi everybody, I just wanted to share a little success that I've had with some of my seeds that I planted. I haven't had a lot of success in the past because of a few things that I thought I was doing right, but I visited my local extension, university extension. I'm in Utah, so I called the Utah State University Extension Service, and they gave me a little bit of advice. They're amazing up there. Um, the first thing that they told me to do that I did differently this year was to change my growing medium. I've been growing in or attempting to grow seeds from potting soil. They said that actually has dirt in it, and they said switch it up, buy yourself a bag of peat moss and a bag of perlite or vermiculite, and mix that about 3 parts peat moss to 1 part vermiculite. There's a lot of articles out there that say you can change that up a little bit, but I think that's what I did, 3 parts to 1, and then it actually creates this growing medium that really isn't soil. They said because it has no dirt in it, you can't call it soil. So you can see that it's very light and easy to work with. The peat moss retains the moisture, and that perlite adds a little bit of drainage to my not soil. But so what I've done is I've put this in a location in the window. It gets a lot of sunshine during the morning hours, several hours of sunshine, which is naturally occurring. So this is just the perfect area. And you can see I've only got a couple of feet by about 1.5 feet. So not a lot of area, but I picked up these little Jiffy Pots, and the Jiffy Pots are from any store. These are very inexpensive. I think I paid a couple of bucks for 6 of them. And I took my mixture, my not soil mixture, and put it in there. I didn't pack it down tightly. They said don't pack it down. And then go about 1/4 inch down. And in this, I bought from a local nursery. I bought the celebrity tomato seeds, support local growers. And I planted about 1/4 inch deep, covered them with the soil lightly, and then I watered it. Got that top inch or two of soil nice and moist, and then I covered everything with a little piece of paper towel that I just tore up. And what I do is I come along about once a day as that dries out, and I have a little spray bottle here that I picked up, and you just water that, keep that moist. This, because it's getting direct sunshine, you don't want it to dry out, otherwise those seeds won't germinate. So after I have my not soil in that mixture and the seeds in, and I also they recommended getting one of these little heating pads, little seedling pads. It's just called the Seedling Heat Mat. I just picked these up. I actually bought a 2-pack on Amazon. Very inexpensive, but it heats to about 80 degrees and then provides heat from the bottom up. And that heat is essential, along with the heat that comes from the sunshine, for those seedlings to germinate, those seeds to germinate. And this has been about a week that I've had these seeds planted. I've kept my paper towel moist, and after a while you can see there's a little dimple in that paper towel. And you have to pay attention because you don't want obviously don't want the paper towel to kill the seedling as it emerges. But if you see that little dimple and pull the paper towel up, you can see there it is. There's a little seedling that's emerged. And I pulled the other ones off already, and I did these a couple of hours ago, but you can see that they're already sensing that sunshine, and they're stretching up, and they're going to start growing. Hopefully in a few weeks I can plant these outside once it warms up enough so they don't freeze, and I'll have big tomatoes by the end of the summer or middle of the summer. The other thing that they recommended is add a little bit of humidity if you can. This is just a little diffuser. Obviously there's no essential oil in there, just water, and that adds a little moisture to the air. I live in an arid area of Utah, and so we don't get a lot of humidity from anywhere. So this just, the leaves absorb that moisture, and it keeps them adds a little bit of a moisture element, so helps keep them alive. But I just want to show you one more thing here. In addition to the tomatoes, I planted a little herb garden about a month ago, and you can see I did the same thing. I've got the same non-soil that I planted in, that peat moss and perlite. I had covered in a paper towel. When they started to emerge, I pulled them off, and you can see my oregano down there, and my basil, and my dill. These are 3 things my wife loves to cook with, and I'll have to thin them out, obviously, at some point. I'm getting a kick out of looking at these. I'm getting a lot of this humidity, and they love it. So anyway, those are the things that I learned. Your growing medium, and your heat from the bottom, and the sunshine and heat from the window, keeping your seedlings and your little plants moist, and then of course your little Jiffy Pots, which you can probably grow in anything. You could probably grow in a paper cup if you wanted to, but that's probably not as vital for growing. But when I go to plant them when it warms up, I can just drop that in the soil. I don't have to worry about pulling it apart and disturbing the root structure. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Just wanted to share my success with you, and anyone else who wants to do this. If I can do it, anyone can. I am not a green thumb. I sometimes in years past thought I had a black thumb of death, but I also have another little transplant growing here. So I have just a fun little section of my office here that gives me a little break from the day and gives me some satisfaction, when I'm working and I get to turn around and see this. So if you have any comments or advice, or if you'd have done anything different, leave a comment. Let me know.